Take your dealership to the next level with over 6,800 on-air interviews with dealer and industry leaders. CBT News, dealers' most trusted source for news, content, and analysis. Welcome to CBT News with Cheyenne Malone.
Good Thursday morning. Welcome back to CBT News. I'm Cheyenne Malone. Here's a look at today's top stories. The Department of Energy has recognized General Motors for a groundbreaking project that reduced natural gas consumption by 30% at its Fort Wayne, Indiana assembly plant. The project, highlighted by DOE's Better Climate Challenge Director Maria Vargas during the plant visit, repurposes waste from gas-powered generators to heat the facility and prevent emergency sprinkler systems from freezing. This initiative is part of GM's broader goal to cut greenhouse gas emissions by 72% by 2035 and achieve carbon neutrality by 2040. The project contributes to environmental sustainability and saves GM $3.5 million annually. Fort Wayne Assembly, which employs 4,300 workers and produced over 292,000 Chevrolet Silverado 1500s and GMC Sierra 1500 trucks last year, exemplifies GM's commitment to energy efficiency in manufacturing. In more General Motors news, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has filed a lawsuit against GM, accusing the automaker of illegally collecting and selling drivers' data to insurance companies without their knowledge or consent. The lawsuit, the first of its kind following an investigation into multiple automakers, alleges that GM used technology in vehicles from 2015 and later to record and transmit detailed driving data, which was then sold to third parties to generate, quote, driving scores for insurance purposes. The AG's office claims GM deceived Texan consumers by encouraging them to enroll in programs like OnStar Smart Driver, without fully disclosing that their driving data would be collected and sold. GM is currently reviewing the complaint and has expressed a shared interest in protecting consumer privacy. Toyota is making a strategic shift to focus heavily on hybrid vehicles, potentially becoming the first major automaker to phase out gasoline-only models. According to company executives, despite being slower to embrace electric vehicles than its competitors, Toyota is moving to convert most and possibly all of its Toyota and Lexus lineup to hybrids. This approach aligns with Toyota's belief that EVs will not dominate the market as quickly as others predict, with Chairman Akio Toyoda estimating that EVs will only capture 30% of the global market. Toyota's multi-pathway strategy includes a mix of hybrids, hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, green fuels, and EVs. The company's shift to hybrids, already evident in models like the RAV4 and Camry, is seen as a way to meet stringent U.S. emission standards and buy time to further develop EV technology. A new study by J.D. Power reveals that Tesla continues to dominate the electric vehicle charging experience, outpacing competitors by a significant margin. Tesla's supercharger and destination networks, both recognized as the gold standard for EV charging, sit at the top of the rankings for Level 2 and Level 3 charging networks. The study, which utilized data from PlugShare, shows that Tesla's supercharger network is leading by over 100 points compared to the next best charge point. Tesla's owners report high satisfaction, mainly due to the plug-and-pay experience, although non-Tesla users score lower, partly due to the need for adapters. Despite this, non-Tesla owners still find Tesla's network more satisfying than other DC fast chargers. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Corey Collins, speaker and national F&I trainer for automotive reinsurance concepts, and he discusses the value of having the right mindset, specifically in the F&I department.
Take your dealership to the next level with over 6,800 on-air interviews with dealer and industry leaders. CBT News, dealers' most trusted source for news, content, and analysis.
It's often said, how you do anything is how you do everything. Can you elaborate on why it's so important, especially in F&I, to have that right mindset?
Oh, absolutely. You know, a lot of F&I managers, as I travel across the country, don't really grasp this concept until I walk in and explain it. But the F&I office inside a dealership they touch every department throughout the day.
Yeah.
And it starts first thing in the morning, whether you realize it or not. So, when an F&I manager walks into his office or her office and turns the light on and sits down and hits the power button on the computer and sets the cup of coffee down, within 30 seconds, there's a sales rep at the door that wants to know about a deal from last night when they were trying to get in the car and got stopped and pulled back out. And it's easy to get frustrated in that situation. And here's what happens. If you get frustrated and if you growl a little, because it's understandable, we're only human.
Right.
But what happens when that salesperson goes back out to the group or to the huddle, I like to call it, they, immediately they let everybody know, oh gosh, you don't want to go back in there today. It's horrible.
That's right. That's right.
The chain reaction then is the salesperson, even if it's not that salesperson, they get their first customer of the day, they go to the sales desk, and the last thing they want to do is go back to the F&I office. Well, then they tell the sales manager the F&I department's in a bad mood, and then, service is going to call with an issue, and service, is going to find out that F&I is in a bad mood, and it spreads like a wildfire.
Right.
And in 10 minutes, the F&I manager can completely reset and reshape their day. And in that 10-minute time frame, it's too late.
Well, that does it for us for today. But remember, it is easy to stay up to date with the most recent news and trends influencing the retail automotive industry. All you have to do is follow us. We're on TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, and X, formerly known as Twitter. That does it for now. I'm Cheyenne Malone. Thanks so much for watching. You have a good one.
CBT News, your #1 resource for auto industry news and content.